Now, when we're talking about corn addiction, talking about the irregular use of corn to the point that it starts to, be a hindrance to your life. Today's video, we're talking about addictions as an adult and what the downside of addiction, how it would ruin your life if you continue to indulge. Not necessarily drug addiction. I'm talking about corn addiction, which, if I'm being honest, a lot of people are addicted to corn. They just don't talk about it. I'm not gonna lie. I have an addiction, and it has, I would say, it is destroying my life. And I am on a journey to actually coming out of that addiction. We're talking about the irregular use of corn to the point that it starts to, be a hindrance to your life in terms of either work life, relationships, and even your psychological, emotional, and mental life. Right? Girl, my brother's ex-girlfriend, who at the time I was new to Canada, and she had introduced the idea of self-indulgence to me. And to me, this was just nonsense. But the first time I tried it, I got addicted on that day. And it has constantly taken me down on this spiral of going into darker and darker. Save you from the addiction. You have to change your life in terms of the cues that makes you, indulge in this impulsive behavior, because it is impulsive behavior. So I would say is remove the cues from your life that actually would help you not to indulge, and then pray about it. Pray that God will give you the discipline to actually, stick by this new life that you're trying to create with yourself. And also another thing that is actually helpful is to find an accountability partner, friend, girlfriend, intimate relationship. Now, personally, where I struggle is finding the right accountability partner. Because most people would say they would want to be your accountability partner, but when you do fall, they do not really correct you. Instead, they try to make it seem less guilty on you, right? Which is sad. I mean, I don't understand. Most people don't really understand what the accountability partner is, but I think accountability partner for me in that sense would be someone who's going to tell me you shouldn't do this, and the reason why you plan or why you said you don't want to do this thing. So you should create, action plans to help you navigate these areas where you're struggling. So that's my idea of accountability partner in that regard. Now, the other areas where I think corn would affect you in a negative way would be friendships. You lose a lot of friendship. Also, you lose a lot of love. Like you lose love, relationships. And this happened to me, if I'm being honest, because of the addiction. I had lost my, the love of my life at the time. And even to today, when I do reflect, I don't blame her for leaving, because she has to choose herself. Because being an addict can be detrimental to someone else, especially if you're in a relationship with that person, and your impulsive behavior may affect them or could affect them. So in that regard, it's okay that she left. But the good thing about it is it took losing someone important to actually realize that this is actually detrimental to myself. to the life I want to live in the future, to the plans I have for the future. I'm not perfect. I won't say that. Even right now that I'm speaking to the audience, I wouldn't say that I am 100% like sober, but um, I am making the right steps to be sober. Another thing that I think would help this self-destruction or self-destructive behavior would be creating a vision for yourself. Not just a vision, creating, I would say you should have purpose, right? Create purpose for yourself. And the moment you create purpose for yourself and you are constantly, walking towards this purpose, eventually that indulgence would move aside, and you'll find yourself more fulfilled. Because when you engage in indulgence and all of this, self pleasure and all of this, whether it's through alcohol or whether through porn, eventually you start feeling like you have no purpose, which is really bad, because that is not really what God created you for. God created you for greater things, but by your own hands you destroy yourself. So sometimes you feel like God has abandoned you, but God never really abandoned you. You just missed the mark, which is sin, right? Sin is missing the mark. And if you could find a way back to God, you would find the mark, and then He would assist you, right? You have to be willing to sacrifice something to actually bring God to invest into the plan, right? So it's like you're sacrificing yourself, your desires, what you crave, friendships, whatever, alcohol, internet, your phone, right? That's why even in the Bible it says, Jesus said, if your right hand causes you to stumble, you should cut it off. So it could be friendships, it could be social media, and you need to cut off all of these things off if these are all the things that actually constitute to engage in impulsive behavior. Lastly, to help improve yourself, to come out of this impulsive behavior, I would say start to create friendship, intentional friendship. Normally, when I first came to Canada 10 years ago, I didn't know how to make friends. The friends I had were my brother's friends. And when my brother used to tell me I didn't have friends, it was painful, but it was the truth. However, what he was doing was actually helping me put myself out there to make friends. Recently, like this was now 10 years now in Canada, and I'm in a different field where I need to talk to people, but I have, in some sense, developed the skill set of putting myself out there. And I think that's the way you build friendship, by putting yourself out there. So in that regard, I started hosting events. I started putting myself out there in terms of creating group tours, like visiting places like the beaches or conservation areas with people like in my circle. And I invited some people, but those people invited other people, and now my circle has expanded because I invited the people I knew, and those people, they invited the people they knew, and then I was able to connect to those people, therefore increasing my circle. So building friendship at age 30 and above, it's yes, it's not easy, but it's doable. You just need to be willing to put yourself or look past the uncomfortable situation and actually put yourself in places where you can connect with other people. This is how I am trying in ways to develop myself and quit my own addiction. And I'm sharing this with you not just for entertainment purposes, because if my journey can help someone who has an addiction out there, it will be good, right? It doesn't have to be corn addiction. It could be alcohol, it could be weed, it could be one of these hard drugs, right? One thing that all addictions have in common is they will ruin your life. Like, they will completely ruin your life. For example, I would like you to share your comment on how you're dealing with situation, how you're trying to help yourself come out of this on the comments, so other people can see and learn from what you're doing, right? So we can all learn from each other. So yeah, it was nice talking to you guys today. Have a good rest of the day. Yeah. Stay blessed. Remember, the Bible says that God is close to the brokenhearted. So if you're brokenhearted, pray. That's when God is close. God is close to you. So yeah, have a good one. Enjoy the rest of the day.